日本にはまだある？それなら全マーケットね。
待って、いろいろ教えてくれるのは嬉しいけど、大事なのは空。これ
って
完璧だよ。
あなたって完璧。
Hello everyone, my name is Maru and I founded an animation studio in Tokyo in Japan, where I'm now in my place. So today we're having a guest interview again. Very excited about this one. So if you are not aware of, last year we worked in a very long project that was such a level up for us. We're talking about like the ZenMarket animated series. Today we will do a video talking about how production was to create 5 pure anime styled ads. We call it season 1. It's a mini series. It's like 5 episodes of 1 minute. And we will introduce our guest, who's Akiko Sato, also Blue for friends, in ZenMarket. Hold on, you will see her now. We can see and hear you. Hello, Akiko.
Nice, it's nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell us a bit about you and ZenMarket?
Hi, my name is Akiko. You can also call me Blue, and I work as a marketer here in ZenMarket. We are a proxy shopping service, so pretty much like we can buy anything from Japan that you want, and we can ship it anywhere in the world.
I wish it existed more than 10 years ago when I moved to Japan, but there have been there for 10 years, so...
Yes, and it's going to be our anniversary next month, actually.
Now you know what they do, and now what are the ads? Like, we wanted to promote this service, but what's this animation series? How did it start, this idea? What is it?
Yeah, the goal of the project is to actually bring awareness for our service. So we have BoxHead and Sora featuring in the animation. I really wanted to introduce the characters to the world as well. We were running it on Crunchyroll, so we wanted to have it like seamlessly popped in the screen, kind of like if someone is watching anime, then there's like another anime coming out of the screen. That's kind of like the goal. So for like the people to oh, like I'm watching another anime, but what they don't know is actually an advertisement.
Yeah. All right. You mentioned the characters. Who are they?
So we have BoxHead and Sora. Like their whole relationship is they're friends. They're just friends. And their relationship revolves around ZenMarket and how they actually met through ZenMarket and everything. And BoxHead helps Sora find the stuff that she wants through ZenMarket. And Sora she just excited about like everything and all the things about Japan.
Yeah, she's the ultimate collector. The challenge was to take these two characters into a story. Actually, one more question before we start to the process and so on. How did you find me? Like, why did you choose my studio to do that? Because as I said, I'm not Japanese and all that,
Actually, it's a very interesting adventure, like finding Maru. So I was like just looking at like different studios, and I really wanted like somebody who could actually realize the story that we want. And I actually initially found you on the platform called Upwork. Yeah, and then I found you there, but then I saw like you had a website. So then I checked the website and I saw all your portfolios and I saw all your YouTube videos, and I really, really liked that animation you create, like the whale one.
The whale
oh
one.
my god, that's amazing. Yeah, and then I also like read your profile, and it really kind of just like integrated with what we are as well as a brand. You really want like in your profile you focus on like storytelling as well. So that actually really clicked like in my brain, and I think this is the person. So that's why I just contacted you right away.
Thank you. like it's worth telling like why this sort of work. Another thing is I'm a Japanese fan lover as well, so I'm very close to know how the viewers of these ads would feel like. So I'm not just like pure breed Japanese studio that they're just doing what they do, which is obviously great. But I had this extra thing like, okay, I know what they want because I've been this person outside of Japan watching anime forever, and wanting the things. So
Yes, yeah. Actually, like I started, like as I started to get to know you too, I actually like realized like, oh, like you're in Japan and yeah, you pretty much like love
it
Japanese
was
anime
fantastic.
as well. So
You're
it's like
my
this is
first
perfect.
client. You're my first client collaboration that's in my same time zone. Do you know how much that matters to me?
Yeah, it's not easier. Like yeah, it's easier.
It makes things like at the same time. It depends because when like my team is all around the world, like I can say that for this project it was we were 30 something. It started small, it kept growing, and we were residing at the moment in 8 countries, around 13 in Japan, 7 in Brazil, 3 in Spain, 3 in Argentina, and then we also had people in New Zealand, Canada, and the US, hopefully missing. The thing is, it takes a lot to manage all this creativity in all the time zones.
And different time zones.
Yeah, however, it also works, like if it works well, it's fantastic because no one is sleeping. They can work in something, you wake up and review it while they're sleeping, and then when they wake up, they have it ready. So when it works, it's actually really good. So worth saying.
That's good time management right there. Yeah, good time management.
When it worked, it was not always, but some seasons.
Yeah, I attest to this. Like she has really good time management. So yeah,
it was a lot of sweat and tears, but very happy with how it. All right, so let's get into the actually making of. So let's go from the beginning. I divide my project usually in 2 steps. The first step is like the storyboarding to decide what will be actually seen, what will be heard. So then we see like, okay, so this is my idea based on your structure. And then we discuss if that's okay. We add or take out things as necessary. And then step 2, it's the actual production. Like have design, like inside production, you have pre-production, production, post-production, which is like you start with all the designs necessary, you then animate, create the background, so on, and post-production is when you put everything together from the video, like all the drawings and backgrounds with the effects, and create the video. So step one, storyboarding. In this case, you already had an idea with like, it will be 5 ads, it will be a structure. Like, what's the idea that you presented to me? Like, what do you ask me to do?
So from a font, okay, I have to like really go way like
it's more than a year ago. Please don't judge anyone for this.
Yeah, actually, we've been thinking of creating the animation ads for a while, right? Like for a while before we found you. So we've been like, it's been in the talks for a while, and in the beginning, the structure that we wanted to have is kind of different from how it came to be, right? And like we just wanted to focus on different kinds of products, like the popular products that we sell. So as you can see, like in those episodes, the first one is just like a general anime, and it goes to like from anime to cosplay and picture games. So we just wanted to focus on that, and we created like a short like storyboard. But I think like when you took the project, like you actually made it even better. So yeah, that was really amazing.
I think I even saw the storyboard. Saw
yes,
the script.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't see the storyboard. I think I didn't show you because I was a little bit.
Yeah, now I'm curious.
But yeah, the script. Yeah, I did show you the script. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they gave me a script that was something like, we have this character, Sora, who's ordering something from Japan, and she's using this ZenMarket service, and the ZenMarket service will be represented by BoxHead, this guy that has a box on his head. This guy in Japan, in the Japanese marketplace, will go through all the obstacles to achieve this item and ship it to Sora, who will then open a box and be happy that she received the items. Like that was the basic structure of the 5 episodes. ish. Actually, the first 4, and then the last one was a bit special. And then in each of the episodes, BoxHead needs to travel to a different world because they have different products, right? Like one episode's more about figures, then we have games, we have cosplay, we have idol goods, and things like that. So that was the structure. Inside the story, however, I saw that the obstacle part felt like it's too long for what we need to have in an advertisement. And I also wanted to add a bit more, because something I do in my studio is that to make sure that we're sending the messages that are impactful in a better way to the world. So I was also trying to take advantage of that.
And also, in the beginning, we also wanted to have it 30 seconds.
Yes. So that extent, it was good that you didn't give me a super, the 30 seconds was more thought about financial efficiency than actually the platform. It's not that we cannot make it longer. So I did take a bit of leverage, this structure script you give me is more than 30 seconds. I think it's minutes, plural.
Yes.
So I tried to roll it back. Yeah, I broke it back to 30 to seconds to 1 minute-ish. And then cut more. Make it as fast as possible. It's an ad. People don't have patience for that. Please. Doesn't matter that we make an Oscar-worthy ad. People, if they have skipped, they skip if they want to. No judgment.
They know it's an ad, so yeah.
We do that too. So the thing is, I really wanted to tweak a bit the story during storyboard phase to make sure that the obstacle was short enough, but also with some good message behind it. In this case, I took out a lot of fighting to substitute that for think outside the box. That would be, for me, the message of each episode. Trying to create a world and break the rules to get to achieve the thing. Trying to show how ZenMarket sort of does that. They will find a way to get that item that's only in Japan, and sometimes you have to go through a raffle, you have to go to betting in auctions, you have to go through a lot of things sometimes to get to that one item. It's just exclusive item from this period to that period. That's what they do. How do we get this big item to you? How do we put it in a box?
Yes.
It's sort of ironically. So I just trying to exemplify that through the storytelling, adding obstacles that then we can, people would not know what was about to happen. Hopefully, people are smart, but I was trying to do that. So I show you some storyboards. I will share my screen you will not see it, Akiko, but basically I'm showing them the animatic. This is the first ever animatic, putting the storyboard into video. Sure. So Sora wakes up from the bed, checks the phone, BoxHead gets out on the phone. It was so fast. The final act is much slower in pace. He finds a sold out item, something, otaku, but not friendly looking people. I have to apologize, mommy. It's very, very, very drafty. So what do you remember what you felt from looking this, what we commented on that? I don't want to get super deep, but since this is the first time you saw the animation-ish, how did that feel? What did you...
It was really good. It was really amazing. I was very excited, and I immediately shared it to the team. And actually, when we looked at that, we actually felt that this is this. Yeah, we really wanted this. So everyone just really got excited. I really liked how the pacing went, and from the very beginning, it's very it actually really hooks the audience, and it has this Japanese value as well. When it is doing a bow and stuff, and those otaku mafia, and everything was just how you kind of imagine it to be.
I see the guy.
And what's amazing of it all is that you actually put them together within 50 seconds. So, and there's actually a story in it, and it felt like you're actually watching an anime and you kind of want to watch more episodes. Oh, and also that's one of the comments that we got as well, in the teams, oh, I want to watch more episodes of this. So
that was the best comment. It's yes, we're getting that.
So
okay. Disclaimers and all the things. It's 30 seconds. We had to expand that to almost 50 because I was way too fast in the
That's
end.
very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
I remember
that,
when I told you. I remember when I told you, oh, you can extend like a few more seconds, and then your face just lit up like kind of
no.
just relieved you. It's like yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to push it. Like there were so many like cuts and ideas in that same story, but the fact that I had to shrink as much as possible because you were commissioning 30 seconds at that moment, I like you made me improve it so much just by that, in a way, like because I took out everything that's extra. So it was not bad. Not really. Okay, so while during production we started animating design and so on, and I'll show another animatic since we have like this screen now. And this is for episode 5. So during the process of animating and doing the things, we started putting things together to also show like with the music. Like, okay, so this is the style of music we'll go with. These are some of the voices. And there I started to add like work in progress animations. So I just want to show, like, I will not play the audio because it's a mess then, but here is more or less like another version of that, like with animation. And you got spoilers of like the progress as well during that. I usually rather just surprise people with the final animation, but honestly, for things to work, it makes sense to show like here's the progress, because if we have to make any change, it's easier to do it when everything is not inked to detail. It's easier to do it when things are not colored. It's easier to do it when things are not like cut millimetrically to the music, things like that. So that's also a part of the process that's worth mentioning. All right, so more or less that was step 1. Okay, and because it's been like, well, we're not that bad in time though. I mean, I could share a couple things. We can talk about design as well. Like it's technically already step 2 when we were talking about like redesigning BoxHead and Sora. Like the references you gave me and what I gave you, like trying to, can we simplify this? Because otherwise all your budget will be in like super complicated drawings and we cannot do the storyboard. I remember those conversations.
When Buxton and Sora, I think the one that I specifically remember is Boxhead's like neck area.
Like you feel free to explain. I'm just making sure that it's on
Yeah.
screen,
So basically, this Boxhead is not made of a box, and he's just a human being wearing a box. Actually, his personality is he's very shy and like he's very confident with like um showing the world what ZenMarket is and helping people find whatever they want to like find in Japan through ZenMarket.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much like his whole personality. He's very addicted to the service, basically. But anything else, he doesn't really want to talk about it. So if you ask Boxhead about anything personal, he probably wouldn't answer. So he's a very kind of introverted person in general, but gets very extroverted when it's about Zen markets. So there's a human being inside that
And I
box.
didn't get that.
So that's yeah. So yeah, I think in the beginning it looked like he was integrated in the box, and then I
Yeah.
think and I mentioned it like, oh, because we wanted to have a human in the box, let's try to make it kind of like a mysterious thing that maybe
Yeah.
we can show his like chin a little
Yeah.
bit so that there's kind of this
Yeah.
mystery.
So I'm
you know,
showing now
so-
like an older design before your comment and showing the
Mm,
under part of the box how it was before.
yeah.
And then this is how it ended up being. It has this shading. Hold on. This is the one. Yeah. So it has like this effect in the end. Like Akiko, you'll see it a bit later, but basically it's what you've been talking about.
Yes, I see it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the type of changes as well. Like, so like the proportions of the box, I kept having him a bit like more, the sides making like longer, as if it was like a TV or like a monitor instead of like a squared box. I had like this.
Square.
So all the storyboards, you can see the face is different. Like it has a different proportion than the actual character design done later. A question about the characters, like how did it feel to have another version of them? You show me some versions like, okay, this is how we do them in social media, like illustration style, sometimes more simplified. This is how we have them as like VTuber, avatar, something, like how did it feel to have like yet another version? Like, did they feel like them, or how?
They did actually. They actually felt like them, and there's this kind of also like a like in internally we kind of really like Sora's like version with Mars version, and there's like a team of like, oh, you like this version, we like this version, and but the thing is like the animation is made to be felt like an anime, and so that's why it's a little bit like separate from like what they really look like in as a VTuber. But it felt the same. It felt the same. However, it also felt a little bit better just because they're more alive and
Mm.
they're moving. So I think some people actually created some bias on, on the animated
I
characters.
separated your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some decisions, as you mentioned, it's because they have to move. So I had to simplify to be efficient. Like instead of wearing a jacket with a logo behind him, he's wearing a shirt, a normal shirt with a jacket shirt, like short sleeves, and still the logo. But then Sora was like, if I know it's the mascot of the company, and she has like, for example, a logo on her head, things like that, in the shirt, I think even. But I said like, take that out because people will get confused. It has to look like she's just a customer. Like, so we took some decisions for storytelling and for efficiency and to make it look like anime, like to fool people.
Yes.
Not really fool. It's
Yeah,
just like
and they felt very like human, if that makes sense. You actually like brought like the characters to life. So they're also like the same still, but a little bit but different, if that makes sense.
It helps
like,
that they move and they speak.
Characters.
壊れ物だから自分で届けたかったんだ。
あなたって完璧。
I love them. Okay, I want to talk about about the procedure, like how when we talked, like we were in contact. Like some seasons I said nothing because we're just like producing and so on. Others we were more in touch, and I was giving you like some updates and more feedback, screenshots, things like that. How was the workflow? How did it feel for you?
It's actually very smooth, like on my side, on my side of things, and it was really easy to communicate with you, and you've like actually made it clear like how the process would go, and like you like gave us like what we expected from you, so there's no miscommunication. So and you delivered like pretty much like everything that you said that you're gonna deliver the way you want to deliver it as well. Like you've actually communicated like every step of the way. So the workflow on my side is pretty smooth. Although there are sometimes like when we like some kind of like, oh, how do we do this? And like, you know, I think we've had
issues
these
happen. Like
conversations.
there's many like there are points in every production where you have an idea, I have an idea, we make it work, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's exactly
it
what
just
I
doesn't
would
work.
say.
And then it's like, okay, what do we do now? So it's problem solving with both of us. Like, okay, it's not like I didn't do a good job or that you didn't give me a good instruction. Like we both thought this was a good idea. But
and then when we look at it,
it's like, okay, what do we do now? So obviously there's these parts. There's also parts where I was slower or faster. Like, okay, I thought I would have design now, but it's still not done. But I made the animators start with something else. So I was communicating as well when some things like move, because that's the thing with anything creative. I'm managing something that has never been done before, right? Like you have to create something. So there will always be this, you know, having to adapt and problem solve in the moment. So I also have to appreciate from your side, like also being understanding and listening to these moments of like, well, I know we talked about this, but trust me, it didn't work, and showing and we're like,
and like, I'm trying to remember like which of those were we talked about. Yeah.
I mean, I have a list of things that didn't like make so much sense. Like, I mean, there's also things that doesn't work itself. Like when I was thinking about like the light source, the internet lights. I don't know if I think I told you like in the islands. Okay, let me show this on the screen because it will make more sense.
Oh, this is new to me. I feel like I think I have. Yeah.
Okay, BoxHead and the islands. As we see in this image on the screen that Akiko will see also shortly, the islands are in vertical position, to the side, upside down, things like that. But the light source is always coming from above. However,
Okay, I remember
when
now.
BoxHead,
Yeah.
when BoxHead enters to the world, the light is always from above in that world, which will make no sense. For example, in the idol world,
This
we
is-
should come from the right
Yeah.
side. And in the games world, he's inside a shop, so it doesn't matter, we're okay.
Yeah.
So it was like, I just realized that this doesn't work. We'll just ignore it. Because no one has realized until now. And it's magic.
Yeah, but I think I did remember you mentioning it, and I mentioned it to you because BoxHead is actually in a digital world. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter because the
Yeah.
lights should come from anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's like, we were like, it's okay. It's magical enough that it doesn't
Mm.
matter. But there were moments like this I was like, oh no.
Mm.
We have to redo or like rethink. But like in this case, it was solved by ignoring. In other cases, we actually had to like actually take action. To the next thing, I would like to talk about also. Okay, I have a perfect example. I have a perfect example of something that happened like this. In the storyboard of Animatic episode 5, wait, okay, we have that Sora. Okay, I'll go there in a moment. So we have that Sora gets scared by BoxHead's box, goes back. Akiko's already smiling. Goes back and she bumps her feet on the entrance like little step until he catches her. And the background artist, so feet like thanks to the background artist, was like, but isn't she outside Japan? They don't have this step inside their homes. And we were like, oh no, like, what does she bump into then? Because she's trying to. So we have all these discussions about she's bumping into a box, she's bumping into a chair, she's bumping into like all the ideas that would get to the same effect but felt realistic or not sloppy or things like that. In the end, how we changed it was by me thinking that I have a carpet here. Okay, you can see it. Can they see it in the thing? Yeah. This carpet that you see here, sometimes I sleep on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that carpet was the idea on how we solved this issue. And then now, Sora magically sleeps on a carpet. And that's the full saying on how we made it. So this is another example of things that happen in the moment that we both are like, yeah, the storyboard, it's fine, the story works. And then be like, actually, no, we have to make a change. How do we make this change in a way that doesn't upset production, doesn't upset storytelling, like doesn't upset timelines and deliveries and the background artists and everyone. I really wanted to mention this like trivia thing. It's like, it was such a headache for like days or even a week or so. It's like, how do we solve that? So
Yeah,
and funny
it was
enough,
like it was already drawn a little bit at
Yes.
that time too.
yeah, we already started parts of this. And
Yeah.
then it's even more nice because this is relatable, not only because I sleep on my own carpet sometimes, but I show this to some beta viewers and they love this episode because they felt like her. They also sleep on carpets. It's like, this is the best solution ever because that person is like,
I think it's a common phenomenon.
yeah, it's like good save, and it got even better. So these things also happened. Another one from production that's also maybe interesting. That's the big level of Easter eggs and connections from episode to episode. Like, for example, what they're saying now, like the cosplay she's wearing it from cosplay 3, stuff like that. But also how I want to push it to you, like things that you mentioned, showing them now episode 3, where BoxHead goes to Japan Darake. And those conversations, remember all that? The name of the cosplay shop.
Yeah, Japan Darake was actually my idea because I wanted it to.
You were so like,
yeah.
I was like, shouldn't it be like the world? Like, basically, BoxHead, to give context, he's going to a shop that will be full of like cosplays and so on. And in my storyboard, I think I wrote like World of Cosplay or Japan Cosplay or like something like very on the face.
Yeah.
Like they're telling you what it is, sort of.
Yes.
And you were like, nope, Japan Darake based on Mandara.
Yeah.
Which is
So there's this huge shop in Omeda, and I actually go there often. And they have this a huge. It actually kind of looks like what the anime like looks like. Like it has a huge section of like cosplay, and you can just pretty much like look through it.
yeah.
And yeah,
So this
so
is the
that's why like
inside. It
Japan
does.
Dereke was created.
I guess it doesn't shine, but
It's actually quite okay. So in the beginning, when I saw the first storyboard,
yeah.
my favorite episode was episode 5. But then when I saw the whole animation, this actually became my favorite. And I think this is the time when you first showed it to me and I was a little bit teary eyed because
Yeah, like the cosplay. When you
yeah.
saw the cosplays of the secondary characters and so on, like you
Yeah, and
cannot
I
go
really
much more
like
sparkly than that.
I know. And the thing is it does feel like sparkly, when you see people like cosplay, whatever they're wearing and how they put it together, it does feel like sparkly. Like whatever it is, it's just like whoa, whoa. And that's how like you actually just embody that
Yeah,
sparkly dresses in the anime actually embodied that feeling. Like it's always like that feeling. It's just really sparkly and amazing. Yeah. So I really love this episode. This is actually my favorite episode now. So yeah.
My favorite
Mm.
episode was 5, and it's still 5 because I'm like a shoujo lover, and that's it. But I must say, for people who don't know, I was into cosplay. I still love it. I just don't have like the time or the sources and everything. I still love it. And for me, this episode felt also special because that's how it feels for me. Like cosplays are so cool and amazing. You cannot even see the details. They just spark. There's just joy, everything. So it has a lot of my feeling into it, and I'm so glad that it got to you, right?
Yes.
Um,
And I also want to say that um, like there will be like a visa like by Mar in our project in our like video on YouTube. We also have like a making of on our YouTube channel, and you can see Mar in a Misa costume.
yeah, Teen Tiny Mar in one of my first cosplays. So yeah, check ZenMarket for someday.
She's so cute. She's so adorable. We actually like so adorable. You're gonna see her in a Misa Misa costume. If you don't know Misa Misa, like she's the character from
Yeah.
Death Note. So
Yeah, things happen. I went to Osaka and I explained things that maybe I shouldn't have. But we have like I'm not trying to slide. We have a comment, actually, a question from the Zionist in YouTube who's asking about Sora's name. How come it's Sora, that I think is a Japanese name, if she's supposed to be from outside Japan? Like how did we come to the name? With like just being curious, like they're not trying to they actually said this is not a negative comment.
So the naming actually was a little bit just a lot of brainstorming in the
So here's
with my
Sora.
previous supervisor. Her name is Anita. Hi Anita, if you're watching. So she's the one we were like talking about like what the name of the character would be. And for those of you who don't know, my nickname is actually Blue, and I'm actually known as Blue pretty much like everywhere. And they were like kind of thinking of naming her Blue, and it was a little bit yeah. And I was like, let's probably just like try to like name it the way like how our brand is, and our brand is actually very like sky and like very airy, and we like to have this like very zen like feeling. So a lot of our like logos and any of our vectors or like any designs that we use, we always put some clouds and
Yeah.
blue and sky in it.
Yeah.
And that's why we called her Sora, because Sora means sky in like in English.
Yeah, it's
so
like
that's
as you say, like it's airy.
Yes.
It's zen. It's blue. It's I mean, the sky gets many colors, but
yes,
I think it fits as well.
That's
I
why
mean,
it came to
it creates these things of like, oh no, they're in the Japanese entrance, but they should be outside of Japan. Obviously, yes, it has a bit of clash, but yeah, I agree. It's really nice. Thank you for answering.
Sora is probably not even her real name. Maybe like that's her kind of screen name or cosplay name, or
That's a good point. It's her nickname. Maybe she's not. Yeah. Trivia fact: her hair changes blue depending on the colors of the room and the ambience. But the is the same. No, the eyes always keep the same. The same exact.
Yeah, eyes are like Sora's biggest assets, I would say. Like
Yeah.
she's so pretty with those eyes, and yeah, I think those eyes actually also kind of symbolizes like how
You were very picky with the eyes. Like if I made
yeah,
so many,
was-
like some cat, you were like, doesn't feel like Sora. Okay.
I think this is the eyes. I always say it's the eyes.
Like I don't know what it is, but it's not Sora. It's like, oh, okay. Yep. Yep. That happened. All
I
right.
remember when
Thank you for the
when
question.
I told you. Thank you for the question. I remember when I told you she doesn't look like Sora, and then you told me I've drawn her like 1,000 times.
Like, trust me. Yeah, I got to the level where I was like, are you sure? Because I've not heard so many times. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that I gave this to my, like, another one in the team or things like that. It's like, no, I did that one myself. Yeah. I love these conversations now. At the moment, they were stressful at some points. It's like, okay, so we'll talk about a bunch of things, so many things. Let's go into music and audio. For the music is also like, except the sound effects that are like taken from other sources via like an actually music engineer, like actually like the pro thing. The music compositing has been done specifically ad by ad, and then the idea was that we would have like the compositing artist said like we will have, because all the ads start the same, sort of like Sora checks the phone, things happen, obstacles, and then in the end gets the box. So we would have the same intro and outro. The middle will change to have like different, like to adapt to the emotions that's happening. And then in the end, you wanted to have very specific notes for the that are also used in other. Actually, no. I'm advancing things. At the beginning, there was a specific set of notes that we wanted to use for the ding dong, the doorbell, right? And so one actually like extra commission was to like have that bell to sound with the same notes and something like that. So that was a lot of work, or like trials and errors, like 19.
Yeah, it was like some notes from our logos person jingle.
Yeah.
We have this like ZenMarket jingle when we put like the logos together, and I told Mara that let's try to create a doorbell that would take some like 2 notes from our jingle.
Yeah.
So that people can kind of like relate it to our like brand. And yeah, like you gave us like so many of those audio.
Yeah.
And I think we actually did it. Like it was really good. Like the way we heard like the final version actually.
Yeah, I remember also having two versions. Like, how do you hear the jingle from inside the house and from outside the house? Remember?
Oh, I remember this.
So it was everything double. And you like that, and you actually asked like, your team, I don't know where it came from, but we had to add that also at the end of the outro as well. So people in the end would leave hearing like the ZenMarket sounds, which I think it was a good idea. It was really difficult to add. I will say, like, it was a lot of... It was really hard for the music artist to make it add in a way that, like, it merged well. So there were so many iterations. I have to say that was a hard one. But in the end, I agree that it's a good branding decision.
And I think this is very iconic. And it's actually a very iconic, and that's something that we can use, like, in the future as well. And then this... And I feel like your audio producer did very well with us trying to like blend it into the end of the animation.
Yeah.
ありがとう、全マーケット。
That was amazing. Yeah, I was like, okay, that was perfect. This is exactly how that was exactly how I imagined it too. So
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm sure that Ayaka is also very happy to hear this feedback. I must say she did a great job like greater job than expected, because at the beginning it's like we'll have an intro and outro, it will repeat all the time, and then inside we have like a music that resembles a bit like the different worlds. I was a bit of an extra, like okay, try to something, but in the end, the intro and the outro, like the melody, like don't quote me on music terms, but the structure is the same. However, the type of instruments, the type of vibe changes. So episode 1 was like, I told her, make it sound like Akihabara. How does Akihabara sound? I don't know. But we have this conversation. So like, okay, examples. The second episode, idols, but you cannot put like an idol famous song. So we tried to something. And in the end, it ended up being a bit like a spy movie feel, because he's like searching, looking for something. Parkour. So even instead of the vibes of the world, it was the vibes of the type of story. Yeah.
Actually, like on the first episode, the audio, like I think some of the music that I showed you, like in the beginning, it was actually that soundtrack from my favorite RPG game called Suikoden, and so it actually really sounded kind of like one of the soundtracks on Suikoden as well. So because I have this like adventure feel, because it's a role playing game.
Yeah.
So when I showed that to you, you actually just use that kind of like you can actually created like
she's like deal with this.
Yeah,
she did an amazing. Like I'm so like every time I work with her, it's fantastic. Like really, she always does more than what I ask, and
and music is very important in animation. Like
everyone commented on the music and the voices. Let's have a pause to give everyone a moment, okay? And hype that now we'll talk about voice actors. They're so good. Like I'm very happy with them, especially. I mean, I'd say especially BoxHead, but Sora's voice is also very nice. It's like she's how she's supposed to sound. Yeah. So to give you context, in this series there are 70 characters, 70 unique characters. A lot of them they're in the background and they just appear once and everything, but still like 70 people. That's serious. That's very serious. People who actually needed voices were 10 characters, and we used 5 voice actors for them. So we had the 2 main voice actors, one for BoxHead, one for Sora. Then Sora's voice actor also did the voice of the NPC on episode 4, Korisnov. So she's this, I will not say that she looks like Joy from Pokemon, but I didn't say it. It was my inspiration. So this character in the background that I'm showing now on screen is also made by Sora's voice character. And then we had 3 extra voice actors doing all the other extras with a very wide range of things. We're talking like the super, like the threatening looking, but actually very nice Otaku in episode 1. I think it's the same actor who also did the furry old guy in the cosplay. Like we have like the annoying gamer, the other gamer. So all this by 5 talented people. How was it to hear the voices? How was that part of the process for you, Akiko?
Yeah, when the first time like we heard like Mike said, it was perfect. Like this is exactly how we wanted him to be, and we always wanted Brexit to sound young, but also not too young, but also very like calm. So it's also not calm, but it's
hard because like it has to sound like the anime main character, but not hyper, you know?
Yes.
But he does a lot of hyper things. He moves a lot.
Yeah, and to be honest, like after we heard BoxHead, I feel like a lot of the people in my team started having crush on BoxHead because he is such a gentleman in the animation, right? Like he does everything, and then the voice kind of
like I must say because in other projects I would do the casting of the voice actors. In this case, someone else did it. Shingo Sawada is the one who was in touch with all the voice actors and who selected them. So basically, I gave a sheet of information with this is the design of this character, this is how he's supposed to sound like, this is the storyboard, these are the actions that they will have to do, these are other references on other voices that I think would sound like this. So I gave a lot of information to this person. Very talented. Like casting and so on. And they gave me the voices, and I really also loved BoxHead decision like from the beginning. But I fell in love in episode 5 when he also could do the ikemen but soft flirt. I was like, okay, that's it. The daijoubu.
大丈夫
Yeah. Yeah, it's very Sawayaka. I just gotta
Yeah.
say, it's very
Yeah.
Sawayaka.
He's not overselling it and so on. Like the only moments where I had to ask for like I had to ask for more voices was for the first otaku, like the very like the threatening one.
そうそのフィギュアを
I wanted him to be more threatening, so I asked for a like more voice and so on.
Yeah.
It didn't feel enough. It's like no.
Yeah,
I did
I
it
remember I
myself.
was talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I imitated myself what I wanted. It's like I don't sound like it because
Yeah.
I don't have the voice. Like I have a female deep, but still female-ish voice, whatever. It was like more like this. And
Yes.
the retake came, and it was good.
Yeah.
And for
For
Box,
Sora too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Sora too. I think in the beginning, like it was all amazing, but like she like used like a low tone, and I think I remember telling you like, no, let's make it like a higher tone
Yeah.
because Sora is just she's enthusiastic and excited. So
Yeah.
I asked to have it in a higher tone, and yeah, it came out perfectly.
yeah, like we had to like remake this like late like arigato ZenMarket, which people will not know, but they're all different. By the way, she says it 5 times, and then again 5 times because of the remake. So 10 arigatos for ZenMarket. And then for BoxHead, something that happened is that the voice actor did like all the required voices that are in the dialogue, but I had to ask for more for him being alive. To just breathing and running, and because he does action like just getting up, like when you stand up from a chair, sometimes you make a noise. It's not something that you put in a dialogue, but it's what makes him feel good. And we use that especially in episode 2 when he's doing the parkour. So I started adding things. I do that as well, but it was a really nice experience. I'm not used to delegating that part of the job, but it came out fantastic in this.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So the next topic I would like to go into is it's already post-production. Post-production, which is the act of putting this drawing on top of the other, on top of the background, and moving the background other than a gradient, but it goes have like a gradient on top and some effects and like very, very big effects. Like actually, since I have this episode open, it was the first time that we incorporated a motion graphic designer, like specialist motion graphic designer to do this scene. I will play it now. It was, I will not say a nightmare, but it was really time and energy consuming. Like this part, like with the background moving, like all the elements, bringing them back. They added like these little arrows. They added on their own. Like my request was to organize the background. We had 2 versions of the background, one organized and one not organized. Actually, we had one version with a lot of elements, like the same file. And the unorganized one had like unorganized cables, and the games were like the organized ones but tilted. So we tried to be efficient, but in the end it was a very messy, like it was just a lot of elements. And she did all this like good job of like putting it together, moving them, and adding the tags. Also in the next HUD when we had like the tags appearing and the games move, like she, like Anna Salamagna, really good motion graphic designer. She actually added a bit of extras, like I just wanted things to like slide in, and she added all these like slides in, has a bit of a rebound, then some disappear, and when one disappears, the other gets bigger. Like she added this extra feel good emotion, like only like if it was me, or maybe Eugenia can also do some graphic, like motion graphics, but she added the extra thing that only feels natural when you know what you're doing. Like it's not just like if you see the tag, like the blue, it's not just appearing. It's like it goes up, like it gets from small to big, and then it gets to the side, and then it moves up. Like it has like 3-4 movements layered in there, and that's why it makes it look so natural, so digital. even with like retro gaming. And it's a moment, but it just feels good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I feel like it looks really good and it feels really smooth as well. And because that episode is supposedly about video games, and I think you actually see a lot of these movements in video games as well, especially
Yeah.
when those video games that have dashboards and
Yeah.
stuff, they actually feel the same. So it actually, yeah, it seamlessly integrates like
Yeah.
together. So
A bit of trivia, fun thing. Remember that we mentioned in also the video we recorded together. Here's the game that he's actually purchasing. Like we integrate that's actually composition. Word to integrate. Like every time that BoxHead leaves with the box from the world, we change the box. And in the video game one, we integrated like the game he's asking for, which 80s horror game, which is something that I put randomly in the script as something that, because usually I put things that I like cosplays I was by or something like that. I'm not a big gamer. I don't like horror movies or horror themed things. So to make things variated, I just put things I don't enjoy myself into it. And then when I was asking the background artist to create the games, it's like, oh yeah, you have to make sure to add 80s horror games. And I was in a moment thinking, does that even exist? Did they have in the 80s? So that was
it does exist.
It does exist. It does exist. It was like, oh no. Like my random thing went too far into actual production. I was like, do we have to change that? Do I have to ask Akiko if we can change it to something else? But it doesn't exist. So that moment happened. And so composition, doing all these fancy, like making things fancier than they are. Did you even notice, like, I don't know, like people, did they notice that the background elements also move side to side? And the little dots move too. Like just everything moves. Everything moves. It's just so subtle that I didn't notice myself until later. That I asked the background artist, please have it separated in case we want to move it. And I think I said to the motion graphic designers that this can be moved, but this is not a priority or something like that. And they move it. And I noticed after watching it 10 times myself, which is sad. It's like, I'm so sorry I didn't notice. Thank you very much for adding that. It was not a priority, but it looks lovely. So sorry.
Yeah. Now, not to myself too, like to look at it later, like the whole background of that episode is pretty amazing with all the video games in the shelves.
They also have like very fun names if someone wants to actually watch the final video and try to read the names on the tags.
Yes, I want to read all of them and see where the references came from.
Yeah, I mean, it was for avoiding copyright issues, but it's also fun. So check that. When we were doing that, putting everything together, and we had to export the video, like everything you're seeing is built in this case in After Effects, Adobe After Effects. And then you say, okay, transform all these things together. We put in different layers into a video. This happened in a final of 120 different video variables, multiple times, because I kept doing mistakes. I kept noticing things like, oh no, like I think it was actually this one. He's leaving and you see the shoes are white. It was a mistake and they were, I think, still green from another episode because it was a copy from something else. So I had to, when I already exported it like 20 times from all the languages and all the things, I noticed that. So I had to go back, fix the cut, put it in the main compositing and try to export again 20 times for that episode. And this happened for multiple cuts. It was very time consuming. That it's something that you cannot, you have to make time for that, really. But it was worse for you, Akiko, because I was worrying about 5 languages while you were worrying about
19 languages.
Oh gosh.
Yes, I had to localize all the animations to 19 languages. So pretty much 19 subtitles, 19 ending strips, 19 taglines, just everything 19.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and forth and stuff.
The variables were with subtitles, without subtitles, with a tagline, without the tagline, QR code, no QR code, credits, no credits.
Yes.
Something like that.
Mm.
Oh, and vertical version.
Yes. And vertical versions, and we also had no user code.
No user code. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So all that in 19 languages for 5 episodes. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, don't multiply. I don't want to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I don't even know, but yeah, everything is like all organized and stuff, and we're doing very well with like all the localizations.
Yeah.
And like the team is amazing. I think my team is also like pretty amazing, which is like organizing all the episodes. But it is a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really appreciate a lot, like, your team, like, doing that, because that means you're helping people from different, I think, language, countries,
I mean,
locations.
we
So.
have to thank you. We have to thank you for some of it too, because you localized like 5 of
I've already
it.
did 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I usually don't focus a lot of time for rendering. This project was different. It's like, okay, we need to keep adding. I was more concerned about the
Yes.
timeline approaching than actually, like, it's not about capability of doing it, just like a lot of time and a lot of focused mind, because it's this repetitive task to take out a layer, deactivate, activate, download in the right name. I mean, it's not a difficult task, but you have to do it right, and you have to then check the video that you actually got it right. So there's a lot of focused
Yes.
time on a task that's technically not difficult. So when I
Yeah, I remember like one of the times that we were rendering and stuff, like so the subtitles, we didn't know where to put the translations of some of the like Japanese on screen text. And we moved it around. I remember we moved it around. We moved it on top, we moved it
like
over here, and
here,
then
there.
down.
Yeah, we're talking.
I think you rendered a lot during that time.
And also we had this issue, like not exactly related to rendering, where we were adding this text that the text appears that says only outside Japan. Like they're saying it on screen in the left upper side. And I think it's an effect done in After Effects that it writes itself. And when you're doing it with like the Romanji, like with the English alphabet, it just takes other random letters from the alphabet. But when you're doing it in kanji, apparently it was picking up kanji that may not be just Japanese. It was picking up Chinese characters.
Yes.
And
yes,
you couldn't control that. You couldn't control that. So we had Eugenia, like the compositing artist, render a few variables and have someone from your team to tell us which one. And we could not change the time from there because we were scared that then the software would just change another kanji and it would be wrong. So these are stories from post-production that you cannot consider, but well, they affect the final quality of the product, that they have to put everything together well. Right?
Yes.
So tell us, what is the future of BoxHead and Sora? What's happening with them? If you can share.
I cannot say exactly what's going to happen, but there's a lot of communication on how we can expand them, expand their world, and maybe even merch and maybe more episodes. We don't know, but that's all I can say. But
only say what you can say. It's live. I cannot cut that. So fantastic. Then I will just close the thing. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been amazing to have you here, Akiko. It's fantastic to talk about these things. I hope people have had as much fun as we did having the project. Not the sweat and the tears that also happen in the project. We don't wish that on people, but we love what we do and we will do it again. So thank you again for being here, Akiko. It was amazing to have you have like the time to have this conversation, because I wanted to share what all this meant and share also the love for everything that the team made. Again, you see me, but it's a lot of work from everyone. Anything else you want to say that I forgot to mention?
I just want to thank you for the time and having me here, and also thank you for like the people who watched the stream.
Bye everyone.
Bye.